Welcome to Arcade Audio.
Welcome to Dilettante Ball. I'm Johnny.
I'm Spencer.
Here on Dilettante Ball, we go on Wikipedia.
We click random article.
And we talk about it.
Yeah, we do.
First, we're just going to give a little mention to our merch store. You can go to arcadeaudio.com. No.
Oh, no.
.net.
Damn it.
That is arcadeaudio.net.
You got me this time.
/merch. And I believe the only thing right there now is our Devil's Christmas t-shirt.
Yeah.
There is still time to get it.
We got monopoly on that damn store.
For your loved or hated one this holiday season. It's a fun, cool design.
Get it for your loved ones that love the devil. Get it for your hated ones that hate the devil.
Yeah.
If you have a real Christian mom, she'll hate this shirt. If you really want to stick it to your mom.
If you hate your Christian mom.
You can't do the right podcast. Wasn't that a Jerry Springer episode? I hate my Christian mom.
You know, someone told me about Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
That the people were like real and they would like get all their stories and stuff beforehand.
Right.
But then if in the event that they backed out at the last minute or
Right.
decided they didn't want to do it anymore.
Sure.
They would call in actors.
Jerry would.
Yeah.
Right.
To be on the show and they would use the real story and just have actors
So
do
just portray the Christian mom or whatever.
So weird.
And
that
weird.
was in Chicago.
It was taped in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't Jerry Springer mayor for a year? It was like a publicity stunt? No, I'm just...
He lived in, I don't know if he still is, but he lived in Evanston.
Wow.
And one day I used to work in Evanston
Yeah.
at a tea shop, and he like walked in front of the tea shop.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
Did he think about ordering something?
He thought about it, but he didn't do it.
That's a shame.
He went, nah.
He kind of like cocked his head like, maybe today's the day.
And shortly thereafter, that location closed.
Oh, wow. If only he had ordered. Boy, guys, we just ran the books. We just ran the numbers. And sorry to say, we're in the red by about 385. We almost broke even. If only we hadn't bought so many napkins. Oh, boy.
You ready to get an article?
Yeah, why not? I think I'm done with that riff.
It was good.
Thanks, man.
Okay. Further Instructions.
Okay.
Further Instructions is the third episode of the third season of the American science fiction television series
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Lost. You're a Lost boy, right?
I'm a Lost boy.
It was first aired on October 18th, 2006 on the American Broadcasting Company, ABC, making it the 52nd episode of the series. The episode was written by showrunner Carlton Cuse and supervising producer Elizabeth Sarnoff and was directed by Stephen Williams. The series follows the survivors of a plane crash of a commercial passenger jet flying between Sydney and Los Angeles on a mysterious...
This is just what the show's about.
On a mysterious tropical island somewhere in the South Pacific Ocean. In this episode, John Locke. Is there really a character named John Locke?
It's heavy-handed. Yeah, there's a lot of like literary references. John Locke is one of the main badass dudes, though. Okay. His story is really interesting. He was, spoiler alert, he was in a wheelchair before the accident, and then the accident happened, and he like got up out of the plane wreckage totally fine. And that's one of the pieces of the Lost story is his story.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So is the island magic?
I don't care.
No, it's just hell.
Is that what it is in the end?
It's like purgatory or something.
Do they get off at the end?
Of the island?
Yeah.
I don't believe so. It's a little convoluted and a little like, wait, so then what happened with this then?
Was that a show where they didn't know what they were doing?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep. Pretty hard. They didn't know.
That's really funny.
And people, maybe, I don't know how early, but certainly by this point, by season 3, people were saying like, is the island purgatory? And they'd be like, no, absolutely not.
I love that.
You have two options. One, they were lying. Or two, they didn't know. And then like, five seasons later, they're like, you know what?
Shit. I guess it was.
I guess that's a good idea because I'm tapped.
So, I never watched it, and I never wanted to. Is it good?
I really enjoyed the ride a lot, and
I think the ride is part of the thing.
It was definitely part of the thing because every week you get together your friends, you discuss the things.
I had some roommates in college who were very into it,
Yeah.
and they would like do it.
It might be okay to watch now, knowing that like you just don't worry about getting totally satisfied about everything, because the characters are pretty cool and interesting. There's some very compelling stuff that happens at certain points, but it's like 7 or 8 seasons worth of stuff, so it's kind of.
It ran for that long.
Yeah, it did.
Wow, he's out.
Yeah, it should have only ran for like 6 tops.
No show should run more than 6 seasons.
I totally agree.
No show, absolutely, ever.
Yep, I totally agree.
That's
Yeah, SNL peaked in 81. Everyone says that. Everyone says that. What's the plot of this one? What does John Locke do in this bad boy?
In this episode, John Locke, Terry O'Quinn, recovers from the hatch implosion and rescues Mr. Echo.
Mr. Echo got fired.
Akinoue Agbaje.
He played Killer Croc in the new Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Just he's still around, so you know.
He got fired from the show?
I believe. I may be telling tales out of school, but when Lost was on, I had heard, because it films in Hawaii, so everyone's just like loving life. You know, they just live in Hawaii for 9 months or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So more than one person got fired for like drinking and driving, and I believe he was one of them.
Dang.
I could be wrong, but his character was just sort of like written off at a certain point. It's like, oh, okay then.
Well, Mr. Echo gets rescued from a polar bear. Locke is featured.
That's
in
one of the big questions. Like, why are there polar bears, man?
They're probably smoke monsters.
It's the same sort of, yeah. There's like big questions, and it's like you never really get good. It's like
because they're just fucking are. Shut up.
Basically, it's like there was a zoo. Okay, well, why was there a zoo? But that's the next question, isn't it? Like, okay, dude, it's like
it's that.
Yeah, it's like you get the answer, but you get 2 more questions, you know. And there's all kinds of little like MacGuffins and like false, you know, garden paths, and you know.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Who
it's up its own ass a little bit.
Who made that show? Was that J.J. Abrams?
It was him. This was like his big thing. It was like this, and then in the middle of this, he got Cloverfield.
I liked Cloverfield.
Cloverfield was good. Yeah.
I remember he talked about making a sequel to Cloverfield that would basically just be the same thing but someone else's perspective.
I heard that too, yeah.
Which seemed so fucking cool.
I love that idea, yeah. I mean, the movie he did make that was like a spiritual sequel is very good.
Oh, fuck. I
10
forgot
Cloverfield
about that.
Lane. You do yourself a favor and watch that movie.
Yeah, that movie's crazy good.
I was
I forgot about that
really
movie.
happy with that one. But yeah, totally different. It's not... It's
totally unrelated.
Yeah, it's like a spiritual sequel.
It'd be cool if like the Cloverfield name just was like an anthology series of like crazy movies.
Absolutely, yeah, just about like alien invasions or whatever. Like, yeah, as the sort of thread. Yeah,
because it's
not even the same one necessarily.
Right. It was a different.
I believe it was a different
thing.
Yeah. So cool.
Man, what a movie! What a ride that was.
Yeah. John Goodman's back, baby.
He's great.
Yeah.
He also seems like he'd be cool to hang.
He does seem that way.
Like,
but he also feels like he would kill you on accident. Like,
give you a big old bear hug. And
yeah,
just
like Lenny of Mice and Men. Like, you be the rabbit. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he totally seems like he could hang.
Yes, throw back a lot of beers.
Yeah, and maybe I'm just like imagining his like character from Roseanne.
I'm picturing him too. Yeah.
Because that I've seen him in 1,000 other things,
right.
But in my head he's still whatever Dan from Roseanne, which they're bringing back.
Really?
Yeah.
Is Roseanne gonna be in it?
Yeah, they're just like rebooting Roseanne.
It's like Roseanne 25 years later.
Yeah,
or whatever. They're doing that nowadays, huh?
I'll tell you what, Will and Grace is fucking good. I am very into the new Will and Grace.
They rebooted it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Are they? Is it the same? Like
it's
everything?
the same.
Do they live together, or what's the premise? Or they're just friends?
Will and Grace live together,
Okay.
and Jack lives across the hall.
Okay.
And I didn't stick with the show in the original run till the end. I stopped watching when Harry Connick Jr. joined the cast as a regular because just that felt like when they jumped to the shark.
Does he sing?
Yes. Okay. But they basically just like.
Did he play himself?
No.
That'd be so funny. Like, hey, I'm Harry Connick Jr. New York's expensive, huh?
For the reboot, they were basically like, the end of the series was like a dream, just so that they could purpose. just so that they could like wipe the slate
That's
clean and be
funny.
like,
Okay.
we're just gonna do the thing that, because in the end they they got like married off and all kinds of stuff.
All the
happened.
endings got tied up, and who cares?
And then when this series starts, it's like Karen daydreaming. She's like, oh, that was crazy. And then it's just everything is exactly the same.
That's good.
It's great. And they're like, it's very I assume they could not be as bold in the 90s
Yeah, I can see.
politically, because I think that it was already probably pretty bold.
Yeah,
To show
I
just
can
like,
imagine that.
oh, you're just a normal dude who's gay.
Right.
But now they're just like, no.
Full
We're like
on.
we're going for it.
Okay.
So they're like, it's very political, and a couple episodes are like kind of heavy-handed.
Yeah.
But there was one where like Jack has like a son. I don't know how Jack has a son.
Okay.
But he was like maybe a sperm donor or something. I don't
Sure.
know. But his son has a kid, so Jack has like a grandkid,
Mm-hmm.
and the grandkid is gay.
Okay.
And the son is like a Republican and sends him to like conversion camp.
Wow.
And they're like, you can't fucking do that.
Wow.
It's wild.
That's a very 90s way of attacking an issue. Obviously not
Yes.
like the source or not the material is. But yeah, it's like this is a very special episode about like gang violence.
Right.
Or whatever. I had a point. What the heck was I gonna say? I have no idea what I was gonna say.
It's a lot of. I mean, if you like.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That move is so, gosh, it's so divisive, man. Like, hey, we're liberals and we're really gonna make it known. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so. I'm not saying it's.
I think.
And I'm sure they're not trying to change, hearts and minds.
I mean, I think the people who are watching Will and Grace anyway
Just want that outlet of like, yeah, finally, like someone is on my side.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that's their goal, then
they're
fine.
They're not gonna change hearts and minds, and I don't think that the target audience for Will and Grace is like
right.
red state.
No, certainly not.
Yeah. So, but it's exactly like the show was.
Yeah.
15 years ago or whatever. It's
Mhm.
great.
I feel like everything's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like there's like typical liberals like making liberal shows for liberal types. You know what I mean? But then like if they don't do anything, then it's like, boy, what happened? You don't have the cojones to like touch the important issues. It's like you just can't ever win.
I think it's better to err on the side of let's just fucking do this.
Yeah. That way everyone knows like, hey, there's people out here like
this
that
is-
aren't crazy.
This is this is where we stand.
Right.
We're going to be on the right side of history.
Right. That reminds me. Do you see what happened just as of recording? What Cards Against Humanity is doing?
Did they really buy land?
They bought land along the border of Mexico, so that if the border wall ever starts to become a reality, it just can never be completed without eminent domain coming into play.
Mm-hmm.
But the money that people are donating to Cards Against Humanity for this purpose is also going to the top like eminent domain lawyers.
Fuck.
So they know like, yeah, we know that we can never keep this land forever. And the government eventually will get it through eminent domain. But it's now our job to make it as long and drawn out as possible. And all we need to do is outlast the Trump administration.
That's so funny.
It's very, very good.
They probably didn't even have to buy that much land.
No, and I think that I didn't have time to look into everything, but like you can like donate, like $15 or whatever, and then you will then become partial owner of a certain, or you'll become an owner of a certain part of the land, so that like everyone will have to like agree to go to court. It's like it becomes so much more convoluted.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So like Cards Against Humanity will ultimately be the the defendants or whatever. But you and I, if we had a piece of land, we'd have to like write in our vote, or you know what I mean, like
man,
as if we're on like a board of like a condo board or something.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's like the first thing they've done where I've actually been like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I have very mixed feelings about
Yeah, me too.
them.
Yeah, me too.
Because obviously they know what the fuck's up, but
Right.
then the game
is troublesome to me.
It is very troublesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
I don't know what to say.
that's all. That's all I'll say too. Because I know plenty of very kind, wonderful people who work there.
Same. Yeah, it's a Chicago-based company. Like, gotta love that. A lot of our friends get work through there as writers, actors, things like that.
But the game is
the game itself is not 100% great.
No, it's troubling is a good.
Yeah, so it's hard. I never want to like yuck anybody's yum by being like, hey, a friend of mine that works there, here's the thing I don't like about this. Explain yourself. Like I just feel like it's not my place to do that, but it does bother me.
Yeah,
Well,
in the way that I haven't bought the game and I don't plan to, and that's the thing.
Yeah,
but
that's the best you can do.
Maybe I'll buy some of this land. And
that's what I thought too. I was like, I can support that. That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, we were just talking about this. It's the same with like the game Secret Hitler. Which do they make that? They don't make that.
I thought they did. It has a similar feel.
Yeah, but it's essentially the game Resistance,
right?
But with like just kind of
shock factor name,
icky overlay.
Yeah. Like, hey, those shock people?
Hitler.
Like, well, all right, what's this game? Like, well, yeah, I guess I'm a little subversive, man. I'll check it out.
It also, I'm sure it was a little different when it came out like 5 years ago or whatever, and the world wasn't this. But I just played it. So I met with some friends and we played it, and that was the first time I'd ever played, and it was like
Secret Hitler.
Yeah,
it did come out before Trump, but not by much.
Interesting.
I could be wrong, but I believe it came out in 2016.
Oh wow,
it's a pretty recent game.
Because playing, it was like, oh, this is not ideal. Like it felt too real.
Yeah, like you actually were like, all right, so the game is really simple. It's just like Resistance. So one side is the Gestapo, and it's like, sorry, I'm gonna stop you there real quick. No, it's fun. It's fun. You're just trying to root out the liberal media.
It was.
I'm sorry. What's going on here?
It was the fascists and the liberals.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
so, all right. So round 1, you get rid of the communists. Round 2, you get rid of. It's like.
And then it was like, every time the fascists succeeded, you get like an presidential power.
Sure.
And one is like, investigate someone else's papers.
Sure.
See if they're
part of your team or whatever.
Yeah. And then the way that the fascists win, there's a president and a chancellor, and you elect Hitler to be chancellor, and then the fascists win. And it's like,
so then at the end of the game, you go, "Yeah, we won." Oh, you know what? It doesn't feel very good to win, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's some cold comfort, I guess. They could have named, the teams could have been like fascists and communists. You know what I mean? At least liberal could have like a positive connotation. You know what I mean?
Sure, certainly.
That's
yeah, but then you could also you could play Resistance where it's spies and
resistance. Right. Yeah, you don't have to have like a government. Yeah,
and it's like cyber. It's like the year is 30XX.
Right.
There's a cyber war in the Neo realm.
Right.
The government oligarchs have flooded the techno banks with cryptocurrency. It's like, sure, this is
your mission. If you should choose to accept it, is to rappel in with your techno ropes and cyber hack the grid,
the mainframe.
You're right. But the spies are gonna stop you at every turn. Yeah, very much.
And then it's the same game, and it doesn't feel bad.
Yeah, it's that fun.
And then there's Avalon, which is the same thing.
The exact same thing, but it's just
medieval.
Yeah, it's literally King
Wizards.
Arthur. Yeah, it's the King Arthur people. It's like
hacking the mainframe.
Yeah, looking for the techno grail.
Smell you later. Set Fire to the Face on Fire. We Ride Skeletal Lightning is a very cool name.
That's a very good name. Like, that would be airbrush on the side of a van.
Yes. Trash flavored trash. Love rhymes with hideous car wreck. Peacock skeleton with crooked feathers. Rats and rats and rats for candy. Oh my god. Fucking's greatest hits. Burn Piano Island Burn. Guitar Me. Every Breath is a Bomb. Ambulance versus Ambulance. Cecilia and the Silhouette Saloon. 6 Nightmares at the Pinball Masquerade.
Jesus Christ, these are wild.
Thank you for playing Arcade Audio. Play more at arcadeaudio.net.